Good evening, everybody. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Fairyland. It's just gone 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m. It's Wednesday night, so it's another bad net for the VK4BAD bad net for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club situated in Dalby. Okay, I'll change my call sign to the club call of VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. And it's been a good sort of a day. It's 11.3 degrees outside at the present time, 95% humidity and 0 wind speed. My machine is telling me that it's going to rain in the next couple of days. Well, what does that say? I know that we're going to be 0 plus on Saturday. And we're going to go down to 10.5 degrees, my machine's telling me, but I don't believe that, since we're sitting on 11.3 at the moment. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Now listening for any call-ins. Please call in.
Good evening, Gary. VK4HOO.
Yeah, VK4 Tango Papa. Good evening.
Okay, we got VK4 HOO, and we got VK4 Tango Papa. Good evening there, Andy. Good evening there, Kerry. Okay, is there anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net? VK4BAD listening?
Good evening, Gary. I'm running late again tonight. VK4 Echo Mike. 4IJP.
Okay, we've got two extras. We've got VK4 Echo Mike, and we've got VK4IJP. Anyone else want to join the net? VK4BAD? Okay, it sounds like it's going to be one of those kind of nights. Slow, but never know. We might get a few more extras as the time goes on. Yeah, okay. Before we continue on, we have got so far VK4HOO Andy, VK4 Tango Papa Kerry, VK4 Echo Mike Merv, and VK4IJP Ian. Anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net before we fire it off on the first round? VK4BAD listening?
VK4 Yankee Charlie.
Okay, we've got VK4 Yankee Charlie has just popped in as well. Good evening there, Jim. Last call before we start the first round. VK4BAD listening? Nope, the only thing I could hear at the moment is my fan, and as For the ones who were on last week, no, I didn't get a chance to put the isolating transformer in, so I'm running still with external microphone at the present time. Been too busy doing other jobs. Okay, the list at the moment is VK4HOO Andy in Toowoomba, VK4 Tango Papa Kerry in Clifton, VK4 Echo Mike Merv in Proston. Try again. Going ahead of myself. In Pittsworth, VK4 IJP Ian in Proston, and VK4 Yankee Charlie Jim in Blackbutt. Anyone else before we take the first round there? Over. Okay, nothing else heard at the present time. Nice to hear you all in there, fellas. We're missing a couple of ones which I know are roaming around, but they've probably got other things, and they'll come in later on in the at the end of the round. You never know. Okay, we had 19 mil in the last couple of days, or up of rain here at Fairyland, and it's going okay. Nice little drop. Okay, we'll change over to that one there. Hi there, fellas. But no worries on that. VK4 HOO. Over to you there, Andy. VK4BAD.
Yes, thanks, Gary. Good evening. It's Terry, Merv, Ian, Jim. Don't know if I've missed anyone, but if I have, I'm sorry. I've got a comment on those dogs. What a dog's life on the lounge with their covers on. Good on them. It's amazing, isn't it? You know, they can sort of go outside, it's all frosty and that, but in the house they've got to have the creature comforts. I love it. Yeah, everything's pretty good in my world. You wouldn't credit it, you know, got a couple of burials this week, and one was today, and down at Hellerton Spa, and its cemetery's on a bit of a slope. It's quite a big slope actually, and we knew yesterday it would be touch and go because the grave diggers come in and dig it in the morning, and it was just too wet, so that's been cancelled. We still had to do the service, so we did that in our Lavey Chapel, and we'll go out and do the burial, I think, next Friday. We've got it booked in. And there's another one on Friday. That one, I'm not doing that one, so we'll just see what happens there. That's the joys of my working life, which I'm slowly cutting back on. I'm, really, I'm slowing down, which is great. Looks like I can have a game of bowls on Friday, so I look forward to that. I did it last Friday and enjoyed it. So, the rain, we just sort of had the sherries. It'd be lucky if it was 20 mil. I think it was way lower than that. And, the mornings haven't been as cold as what they normally are. We got that cloud cover, but they're predicting the weekend to sort of cool down. All right, that will do me for this one. Kerry, good evening, my friend. Trust you and Gail are all well. VK4, can't even, isn't that terrible? TP, VK4HOO.
VK4HOO and the group VK4TP. That's all right, Andy. We've all seen you a moment. Good to hear you in there this evening. Okay, on the weather affecting the funeral program there a bit too. I can understand that. So they just put on hold, okay. And you've got to deal with it when it fines up a bit more, dries out a bit more. So, yeah, we were very blessed here in Clifton. We had 22 mils of rain. So thankful for that. We were in dire straits. We needed it. So it was very welcome. And yes, I'm sure the mornings are going to cool down again now with the clear skies. Been nice having it a bit milder. Was it this morning when I got up? I think it was 15. Well, this is great. Better than seeing ice everywhere. But I think that's going to happen over the weekend, as you already mentioned. What else has been happening here? I've revamped the radio room after regaining the HF rig back from Al. And they're all mounted where they belong now, and the place has had a bit of a general tidy up, in other words. So, only on low power here, Gary. Hope the signal's getting in okay. I can bump it up if need be. But good signal coming back from the repeater. It's always full scale pretty well, this one, since it's been upgraded. So does a great job. I think it must be over to you there, Merv. VK4EM and the group, VK4TP.
Okay, roger that, Kerry. Yeah, good signal. I hear the hiss of the dragon there a few times. But anyway, all good. So I gave you a yell before in case you wanted to try 80 metres out again tonight. If you do want it, we can do that after the net here. Go and make a bit of noise somewhere. I just want to see the difference from this morning to probably tonight. Here, I guess, you know, some of you fellas have got emails like me from some of our radio friends saying that they've been hacked and they're into their phone and into their bank and all that sort of stuff. Gee whiz. Terrible stuff going on. I think it's getting that way that maybe we shouldn't have internet. It seems to be causing all these problems. Anyway, I got an email from a money lending company in, where was it? Melbourne, saying that, you know, my information, or they'd been hacked and my information was out there now. And I haven't borrowed money for, well, I think it was, probably about 25 years plus, could be more, could be 29 years when I borrowed some money for a car. And I don't know this money lending company, but they're all apparently hooked together. Anyway, they suggested I should, you know, get on to this person and complain. And then, you know, there was several other there, email addresses to, or links to open up and go there and complain and go there and do this and go there and do that. Oh, goodness gracious. It's certainly getting out of hand. One of the fellows that one of our local friends there got into trouble, or his wife got into trouble with it. And he said all the stuff he goes through to try and sort it out. But I mean, even if you went on there and changed your password and all that sort of stuff, if they hacked it once, what's going to stop them doing it again? That's what, you know. And us oldies, we receive these emails and we think it's a, you know, original email from a parent company, and it's not at all. So anyway, anything like that comes, I just, you know, put it in the bin, in the delete bin. And certainly don't open it or even look at it. Don't want viruses crawling around the shack here. We've got enough trouble with mice. VK4, India Juliet, Papa. Is that right? The light shining on where I've written that down. Oh, JP. Over to you, Ian. VK4, Echo Mike.
Good evening, all. Andy, Kerry, Merv, and Jim. Yeah, it's interesting, all these scams, and that. I think my wife gets more emails and that than what I do, and it's just sort of their poor spelling and grammar can be extremely obvious points and that, but we just, yeah, I suppose we've been getting them for years, and I think we were talking about this earlier on with Gary, and occasionally when I get a phone call and they're trying to scam something out of me, I'll talk to them. I'll talk to them for a half an hour or more, as long as I can, because a lot of the time I'm driving. So I'll just talk to them, and it's just sort of interesting. They'll just go around in circles. So it can be funny. So if I get a phone call, I'm more likely to play with them, and that upsets them after a little while. But yeah, we have been hit a couple of times. Our credit card, and generally and I've worked in that industry, so when you see a couple of small credits go out, transactions happen for $2, and they do 2 or 3 of them, then they come in for a big hit a day or so afterwards. So I suppose the idea is you just really got to keep an eye on your statement, electronic banking, and to see if there is any things like that. But my experience is that as soon as you notify the bank, they give you a new credit card number, but we've got a refund back within 3 days, 4 days of the amount. So but what I've also done, and I did this 20 years ago, is I used to have a credit card with a huge amount of credit on it, because that's what we ran our business on. And basically we cut it down to a $400 credit limit, and we only put a little bit on it as we need it, so that way they can't get much through something like that. But otherwise, yep, the rain has been very nice. I've got no idea how much we've had. Generally, I'll ask the guy across the road who's got a gauge. But the ground is nice and moist, and already today some colour has been sort of coming up into the grass. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to get the lawnmower out and give it a little tidy up, just a little clip over the top, and just to tidy up the long stringy bits. Other than that, I've got my HF radio basically going. It's a little under power. But I've put out some feelers for some help there, so hopefully we'll get some ideas coming back through some Facebook sites. And my transistors have turned up for my test set, so I've actually got that in, but still no joy. I didn't get that in and try until about 5:30 this afternoon, so then I was running out of time. So I'll be playing around with that tomorrow. Yeah, I was going to look at the boat, but because the boat engine isn't starting, it looks like it's got no spark. So what comes first, radio gear or boats? I think radio gear's more fun, immediately anyway. Anyway, down to Jim in Blackbutt. how's things in the land to be great avocado, Jim? VK4YC in the group. This is VK4IJP. Yeah, good there, Ian. Yeah, we will be starting our harvest probably next week. It looks like the weather's going to be fine enough for us to do that. And we did have 19 millimetres here as well. I think it was that Gary got, and Kerry with 22 millimetres there. So looks like a fairly average rainfall around the area, but yeah, certainly will kick things off fairly well. Even though there's been a few frosts around, I think the grass is certainly responding to it around the place too. Yeah, and with your scams and that, yeah, we work on an account that we only put X amount of dollars in it to pay invoices, and that's it. Any more than that, and there's nothing much there for anybody to grab. So yeah, try and play that one safe. But yeah, they're coming and going on the computer all the time, on your emails. Yeah, it doesn't take much to detect whether they're a scam or a true, like an invoice or something, whatever. Yeah, a little bit of research on it straight away, and you can soon look it up and decide that it's a scam or not. But yeah, it's Queensland is itself is ripped off for millions of dollars a year through scams of different sorts. So yeah, you got to try and play things a little bit safe there. Do the best you can, I guess, is what it's all about. Andy, yeah, okay, on the service there and the weather interrupt things a little bit. Yeah, all you can do is your procedures to get around that, I guess, because I'm sure that it's happened before today. Temperature-wise, yeah, it's been fairly mild, but yeah, weekend might tell us something different. It might be coming off the snow down south and put a bit of a chill back in the air. Kerry, power-wise, yeah, loud and clear, mate. All coming through pretty good there on what you're running. No dramas. And I think I did comment there, Merv, on your sort of what you excuse me, what you pick up on schemes and that. Yeah, yeah, you just got to be extra careful, I guess. But anyway, back up to you there, Gary, and maybe the area is picking up a little bit out there with the rain, or won't be too long, and you'll see a difference, and maybe put a little bit in the water tanks. VK4GRB, VK4YC.
VK4 Yankee Charlie, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before I continue on, is there anyone else who wants to join the net? VK4BAD?
VK4FAX, VK4BAD with the group. Yeah, I sent an apology through via text to you, Gary, but I wasn't going to make it, but anyway, things changed in the household, so here I am, and I'll say good evening to all, and only just came in to hear, I think the last of Move having a conversation with you, and Ian there, and then Jim. But wish you all good evening, and according to my Rangate here, we had 30 mils, so I haven't checked it with the other one at the back of the house, but going by the levels in the rainwater tank, I'm sort of guessing somewhere between 20 and 30. Anyway, thanks for running the net there, Gary, and I'll stand by and listen for other comments.
No worries on that one there, Don. Is there anyone else want to join the net before we continue on? VK4BAD?
Good evening, gentlemen. Look, got a nice roll up here tonight. VK4F.
VK4 November Fox. Good evening there, Neil. Yeah, okay, Don. Yeah, okay there, Neil. Don's had just a bit of a over on that one. You finished there, Don, on this first over, or you want to finish off what you're saying, or I'll continue on there. Back to you.
Yeah, all good here. Thanks, Gary. I finished. I'm sorry I didn't sign off. I thought I put it back to you, but maybe I run out of time there. But anyway, good evening to you there, Neil, and the rest of the crew. Back to you, up to you there, Gary, to pass it on.
Okay, VK4 November Fox. Good evening there, Neil. Have a say, VK4BAD for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club, and then pass it back to me there, Neil. VK4NF, VK4BAD.
Yeah, good on you, Gary. Good evening, all. And I've got some rather interesting comments to make about this great list of participants on this net. I'm trying to work out what's going wrong. Anyway, good evening, all guys. All signals are wonderful here. Couldn't fail a fault of any of them. So that's very good. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 there, I think. No, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 8. 8 canoed myself. There you go. It's been unheard of, those sort of numbers, isn't it? Wonderful stuff. Anyway, what I've got to say, I don't know. Yeah, I've been listening to a few comments a little while. I was a bit late getting in here, so I just thought I'd let it run through and see what I could peg out that's worthy of comment and go from there. So yeah, all good. Yeah, nice shower of rain. Yeah, it was in there about 18 mil or something. Was it 18? Yeah, 18 mil. My little rain gauge on the fence only measured 13, 14, I think. And yet everybody tells me that's not enough. So I had a bit of a look at the gauge out there, and it is a little bit close to a bit of a plant that's grown next door. So I think that might have stoppled down a bit. Anyway, I put it in at 18 millimetres, and nice shower, nice and steady, wet the dry ground, which is good. And my lawn is sparked up just from that. Gee whiz, it certainly helped it along. It's a little bit with all the frosts and stuff, and crazy weather, warm then cold, and it was sitting there not doing much. It was sparked up a bit with the good shower of rain. Nothing like a bit of nitrogen to stir things along. Yeah, anyway, looks like the repeat is working nicely, which is good. What else are we going to comment on? I don't know. Oh, Andy, I was going to tell you, I did hear Andy comment about his having troubles digging a hole for certain jobs. Well, I'm a little bit involved with the Anglican Church here in Dalby, and there was 4 or 5 funerals last week. I was stressed me dead. What's going on? Anyway, it always happens at this time of year when it's a bit cold and changeable, and that's what happened. There's a couple more going too, apparently, down the next week or whatever. So I don't know. Might have to. I don't know how we're going to stop that, but it's a few of them getting knocked off the perch, which is, well, it's going to happen to all of us, of course, so we don't panic about it, but yeah, that's how it goes. And yeah, digging holes in the mud, yeah, it's not real fun. When it's wet, you can go in and pick, there was a crowbar and shovel, it'd be nice easy digging. Just go in and dig them by hand. Yeah. Now, you're probably all aware, you probably haven't got any notifications, but there's a meeting coming up in about a bit over a month's time, the 12th of August, with our annual meeting and general meeting. So just keep that in mind. There should be some paperwork coming out shortly for that. And I better go over there and see them and make sure we can get in there somewhere. I've been for a couple of meetings, so I'm not used to organising anything, so we'll see how it all works. Yeah, now it's happily beaten away there. Yeah, I don't know what else to comment on. So I've got a bit of a problem. No, a little bit of a problem. They got a little crane out the other day, and that pulled Reggie's tower down over there, over Reggie's place, over at 88 Patrick Street. It's on the ground, and I think they've got a couple of takers. They advertise it on Facebook or somewhere, and they've got a couple of takers to buy it too, which is interesting. I didn't think anybody would want it. But anyway, I've got a bit of a problem. I've got to try and get the pole where it's hooked up above the rotator. It's going to take a bit of getting off, I think. Amazing how this damp weather, even when it's not raining, you get the morning fogs and dew and everything else. Water just wrecks everything. Very hard to keep that under control sometimes. But anyway, I'll have to work on something over there. And I've still got a bit of surplus gear here that nobody's bothered to come and have a look, so nobody wants a bit of junk. It's still on the go here. It's still here. Anybody wants to come and have a good look at it, so that's all fine. Otherwise, I've not much else to give, so I might just leave it at that. I'll hand it back to you, Gary. You can keep it all under control. And I'll come in next round, I think. Yeah, I should be still around next round. We'll see how that works anyway. VK4GRB in the group, VK4BAD. No, VK4BAD. This is VK4 November Foxtrot.
No worries there, Neil. VK4 November Fox, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Before we continue on, is there anyone else want to join the net? VK4BAD listening? Okay, nothing else heard at the present time. Yeah, okay. Nice to see you back in one piece there, Neil. Not like the last one. And good to hear you back in there again. Okay, as Neil said, we do have the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's club meeting in the 12th of August. Yes, I said that one right this time. We'll all congregate at between about 9:30. Meeting starts at 10 o'clock. It is the AGM for the club. So we do have the AGM meeting on. So we will have our general meeting, followed by the AGM, followed by our normal barbecue. Okay. Other things which have been happening around here at the present time is all the equipment I'm waiting for is now floating around somewhere, literally. So they all left their origin countries and heading this way, hopefully. For the ones who ain't aware, I did find that back in 2012, when the Echo Link was last on this repeater, young Rick was in control of it then. I've now changed, got authorization, and I've changed the password and everything. So all I'm waiting on for now is the interface. Once the interface comes on, then I'll put the Echo Link back on this repeater on 2 meters. It will go under the call sign of VK4 Romeo Echo Tango hyphen Romeo. Stand by. And it will go on, does have the, not that one, does have the node number of, once I bring that up so I can remember it, it will go under the same node number of 732 597, 732 597. Is the and as I said, it'll be under VK4RET. As I said, I have done that. All I'm doing now at the moment is waiting for the interface. My new bellum came from my HF there for the HF gear, so I'm hopefully during this weekend coming, I'll put up all my HF gear back again. So I'll have HF. It's amazing how much damage that fire actually did until I look at it. I definitely don't need another bushfire through here. Other than that, okay, they're Andy on the collapsing of the yes, you really don't want that happening, do you? Kerry, no, you're coming through okay. There is a little bit of noise, the typical noise on the repeater. But you're over the top of that at the present time. Merv, yes. I was talking to Ian there this morning, or this afternoon, and I had 3 people ring me up saying, "You rang my number." And I tried to say to them, "No, I did not ring your number. I have rang nobody today. But people are ringing me saying I'm ringing them." So somewhere along the line, they're using my number to get around places. Mind you, nothing else of mine has been taken. And some of the guys got pretty shirty. When I answered the phone, and "Why'd you ring me for?" "I didn't." And "But you just rang me." "No, I did not." I said, "You just been scammed." I said, "That was a scammer." Stand by. So I've been getting some, same as those ones, normal ones, Oh yes, like I've been out here for 13 years now. Been out at my QDH where I am now in Fairyland. And I'm still getting people who are telling me that I'm living in Maryborough still. And I says, well, you told a bloke who you brought the stuff off that your stuff is useless because I'm not going to tell you where I am now. So all the fun little bits. Okay there, Ian. On your bits and pieces. No worries there, Jim. With harvesting coming up, so you're going to be head down, bum up for a couple of weeks, ain't you? Well, not really, because you're doing avocados, so that'll mean your arms will be up in the air and your neck will get them in a crink in it. Hi. But anyway, no worries with that one. Right, now, before we start the second round, and as I said, nice to catch you in there, Don, and yourself there, Neil. And nice to hear that you got back from your holidays nicely. As far as I'm aware of, they're organising the room. I was talking to Jake there yesterday, and he was going to talk to Ross about organising the stuff there today, so it could be already organised, don't know. Before we continue on, is there anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net? VK4BAD listening? Okay, nothing else heard. Need the repeater putting its 2 cents worth in. And but no worries on that one. Yeah. So when I put the Echo Link system back up and on this one, I'll also put the Wires X. The Wires X will be analog, so that means anyone with a normal 2-meter radio can access the system. All they need is a DTMF microphone, and they could put the same as like the Echo Link, put a DTMF call tone through for the room that you require. Being analog, being on the analog system, it won't have the full benefits as a pure digital one, but you do not require a Wires X C4 FM radio. So anyone who's got a standard radio capable of getting on FM 2 meters and have a DTMF microphone can utilise it. Okay, before we start the second round, does anyone else want to join the club? Join the net, VK4BAD? Okay, nothing else heard except my fan. That will be fixed up very shortly. For the ones who ain't aware, you could also get the recording of this one, which on Dippy TV, Delta India Papa Tang Yaki hyphen TV Tango Victor on the YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. I'll also put it up on our website on the Facebook page. Okay, this is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. We'll start off on the second round. Back to you there, Andy. VK4HOO, VK4BAD.
Thanks, Gary, and good evening to Don there. popped in. I'm playing bowls on Friday, Don, so I'll go and put my name down tomorrow, and at this stage everything's looking pretty good. Just on that burial that was supposed to happen today, this particular cemetery had the headstones and so forth, and when the masons do the headstones, they'll do the border around, but they clean their concrete off the outside of it. They don't the inside, so you have a whole abundance of dry concrete. So what you got to do is do a hand lower with straps, and you need 6 people onto it. So you got to get the head down into the grave, so you can go underneath where the headstone concrete is, and it's a bit of a juggle. I've done a few where didn't think it was going to happen, but we got it down. So that was more today with the wet weather. While it had dried out today, sort of thing, but that place won't dry out for a couple of days. So, and scams. I had a call. Well, I normally get my tax done with H&R Block, and got a call last week. This guy was on. He said, this is such and such from H&R Block. I'm bringing around the customers. I can book them into the system. And I said, well, I don't know when I'm going to have all my paperwork and that together. And he said, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I can book you in to the end of July, and we can move it to anywhere else. And I go, this just doesn't sound right, I started to say to him, look, no. I think I'll just wait till I get everything, and I'll just contact my local H&R Block agent. He started to get really bossy and shirty, and I really smelt the rat then. So I guess whatever information he was out after me, he would have sort of pried on stuff. So you just sort of, you can pick them now. You're always on your guard with, there's all sorts of things come through, Suncorp and whatnot. And you start to get used to it now. But this H&R Block, that was one out of left field. Thanks for the net, Gary. All good. Great to hear everyone out there. That's absolutely fantastic. I think we've got Neil there as well. All right, till next week, everyone take care, and it's going to cool down a little bit, I believe, so see how we go. Kerry, down to you, brother, and please say good day to Gail from me. VK4GRB, VK4HOO.
Thanks, Andy. I'll do that. She was here listening a bit till a little while back. VK4HOO, VK4TP returning to the group. So, I hope your wife's going well up there too. So, these scams, they make them look so authentic. I send out emails with the company letterheads on them and everything, and you really have to be on your guard to not get caught out. There's no doubt about that. So, it's a shame that's how it is, but like you said, Merv, I think before we had internet and stuff, it was less prevalent of anything like this happening, wasn't it? Less likelihood of it. Oh, good evening to Don and Neil joining us at the end of the group there. I had the privilege of visiting Al the other day out at Dalby. He's the one that kindly did the repairs on my HF rig. It's still only a HF rig. The other part's still not serviceable, but that's fine. So all good there. Actually did a couple of tests on 40 metres earlier this evening, and a guy went on the Candos net actually, and He gave me a good report from Candos. And Neil from Tenterfield came on and gave me a report from Tenterfield. Then a guy from Caboolture came on and gave me a report, and he was asking me if we've heard from Paul, HOC, and I said, no, we haven't heard from him for a couple of months now. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll move, give you a quick test on 80 when you've finished your over, if you want to switch over to the other repeater, and we'll get lined up with that when you're ready. I'll listen out for you on the other one. Thanks for the net, Gary, and cheers all round to everybody. Good to hear you all in there this evening. VK4 Echo Mike and the group, VK4TP.
Yeah, okay, Kerry, roger that. VK4TP with the group, VK4 Echo Mike. We'll see you've been on 40 and you've got some good reports there. We'll let it go for tonight. It'll I thought you might just want to and do a few more tests, but it'll just save me changing everything back over again. But no problem. That's wonderful news. Really, really wonderful, exciting news that it's working fine and you got all those wonderful reports. Okay. I have a question for you. Jim, how did Blackbutt get its name? I don't know whether I've been out there a few times, but I don't know whether I've seen any plaques up, probably, telling me, how it got the name. But you'd know, and I'd be interested just to find out. Okay. We only got 12 mil of rain here, where everywhere else got, a bit more, but 12 in the gauge. I thought we might have got a bit more than that, but no, right on the 12. And it's certainly good, even this afternoon. You can see a little bit of a change in the grass here with a bit of green in it. And, the scammers, they're doing everything they can to rob us. And I don't do any banking or anything like that, or don't have any smartphones or that sort of stuff. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed as well. All right. You fellas, being concerned about my two girls sleeping on the lounge. Now look, I bought that lounge, right? And a fair while ago, that is. I don't know how old the girls are. 3 years old now, I think. Gee whiz, where those 3 years go. But anyway, the story. Anyway, I bought. We lost the other two dogs that we had, and we didn't dive in and get any more. And I said to Denise, no, let's not have any more. Anyway, I went and bought the lounge and so forth. And then Denise informed me, she said, I bought a couple of wolfhounds from Oakey. We'll go over and pick them up on the weekend. And Denise said there'll be no wolfhounds on the lounge. And that lasted about a day, I think. And you can see where they live now. They live on the lounge mainly. And you're all concerned about where I sit. Well, I sit on the floor. Now, that's true. I've always sat on the floor. Because before these two girls, we had two others, and they liked lying on the lounge and they liked me on the floor. And if I sit on the lounge, right, and there's the other two girls are out in the yard or something like that, and they come in, and I'm sitting on the lounge, they just stand there and stare at me until I hop off and let them get up there. Yeah, we love them. So, I hope that helps you out with the rest of the story. Merv sits on the floor and the girls have the lounge, but I like to be square in front of the TV anyway. And I've always sat on the lounge, but getting older and it's getting harder to get up and the bones are creaking, the legs are going to sleep. I think that's a sign of something. Gary, thanks for the net tonight. Nice to meet up with all you guys and hear your lovely stories. I know they're all true. And we'll catch you again next week, if not before. VK4 IJP with the group. VK4 Echo Mike saying good night. And just listening.
Yeah, Merv, that's a good story. It's interesting that they know what is the comfortable seat, where is the prime location. They know, they sort it out, they're onto it quickly. Yeah, I don't have any pups myself, but I have observed this many a time with friends, and it sort of doesn't matter. I mean, you could be out in the backyard around the fire or something. If you've got a good chair, they just want to come and claim it. And it doesn't matter whose it is. If they see, oh, that looks good, they're there, and they don't mess around. They're just there. Oh dear. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just with this scamming thing, I just sort of find it interesting. I just like the way how they word things and things like that, which just puts up a red flag, and as I say, I like to play with them, so especially if they want to take their time to ring me. And because I do answer my phone with unknown numbers. But also, what Gary was saying, and I did say to Gary, I had an issue like that many couple of years ago. And it just amazed me, the number of people that would just ring back and go, you rang me. And in one case, I actually dialed, I got one number wrong, you know, a fat finger syndrome, maybe. And I said, yeah, I did. I dialed the wrong number. So I hung up and dialed the right number. Now you've rang me. And I was go, do you always ring numbers? I mean, it's only rang twice before I noticed that I'd made a mistake. So I don't know. I don't know. Is it because we're not paying for our phone calls anymore, so people just want to get on the phone for whatever reason? Who knows? I just sort of find it interesting, but that's what they commonly do, and it happens a lot. Anyway, down to Jim, VK4YC, and the BADNet group, VK4IJP.
Yeah, VK4 Yankee Charlie. You still there, Jim? VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Okay, Jim must have gone. VK4 Fox Alpha X-Ray. Over to you there, Don. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta.
VK4BAD with the group VK4FAX. Woof woof to you there, Merv. Sitting on the floor. Yeah, we've got this 6-month-old puppy, and came from, I think, last of the litter in a household with 7 kids. And obviously he's been nursed and put in the chair and beds, etc. And he is still wanting to get up in chairs and get in your lap. And even though he doesn't get to do it, it's just in his brain. And he thinks that's his position in life, on the chair, in your lap. And head on your shoulder. He just was brought up that way, you know, and we got him at 12 weeks, so I'll just break. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, and Andy, if you're still there, I know you're, you're probably more experienced at that hand lowering of a coffin than I was, but my first and only was an infant many years ago when I worked for a council and we were the undertakers, and it's just a harrowing thing to do when you've got the family there. They're in just terrible. It was a cot death, and we hadn't practiced the hand lowering, and it was just horrendous. They could see us losing the coffin, and I still think about it from years gone by, and it's probably 45 years ago, and it has never left me. Played bowls out at Pittsburgh today, and they only had the 12 mils there, as you said, Merv, and the greens ran fairly well, and we had an enjoyable afternoon. And other than that, I'll just say good day to you there, Neil, and good to hear you back from your tripping around the countryside. And we look forward to catching up with you next month. VK4NF with the group VK4FAX.
Yeah, okay, good, Don. VK4VKX. The call sign off. FAX. VK4FAX. VK4 November Fox. Yeah, all good. Yeah, I guess it'll all come together for next month. There's a bit of paperwork to do this time because of annual meeting. But anyway, it'll happen. What else are they going to comment about? Oh, you're talking about your dogs and your... yeah, well, I don't need to have a dog here. I've got dogs both sides of me, and they're no problem. They don't worry us too much. But they'll tell us when there's somebody around. They make a bit of noise. I've had a couple of dogs, and over the many years we've been travelling, and no, I've never had a dog inside. I wouldn't do that. That's just not me. So I just we were out on the kennel or wherever we had them outside a couple of times, but we got sick of that. We didn't worry about it. Didn't need one here. It's pretty quiet. And all good. But the dogs are not too bad. I don't mind the dogs. The cats are the problem. They got a few cats here. Both neighbours, I think, have got some cats. They got rid of one lot that they had, and then all of a sudden they got a few more, and they started breeding up again. And dear. So I mean, I've told them I'm going to ring up the council tomorrow and get a trap around here, and we'll see if we can get rid of a few of these cats. They actually, I think they admit that they are a problem, and they should all be shot, cats. But anyway, it's another story. Otherwise, now what are we doing? I don't think we'll worry about anything else. I think I've sort of taken up all the time and had a bit of a chat and caught up with a few guys here, and that's all good. Yeah, I'm just still having another look at the list I've got written down here on this bit of paper, and I thought, truth, what's happened? Anyway, very good guys, and having a good old chat, which is good. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about, so I might... There was something I was going to talk about. I don't know whether you were listening to how close you were listening to Gary with his over at the start of this round. I noticed you got a pretty solid deviation there, Gary. I don't know whether you've adjusted it up or you've done something there, but I noticed occasionally I hear a bit of a drop out. One letter or one bit will drop out, and I think that's a bit too much deviation. It drops out of the band pass. But anyway, I noticed that for you at this time, Gary. You I'm trying to only talk nice and quiet here. Yeah, it's just one of those things that you can get your deviation a bit strong, and he'll sort of drop out just marginally, maybe a half a letter or whatever, and that's what happens. There's a bit of noise on that repeater. It's got a bit of noise too. I noticed it, especially with Kerry, CP. You've got a good signal. It's got a little bit of noise behind it all the time, just a little bit, and now and again the noise would come up, and it'll be you could tell it increased in background noise. It was getting getting powerful, getting a bit like the other problem we used to have with the repeater. It's a bit different to that, but it's it was sort of. There was somebody else who was doing that too. I can't remember who it was now. But anyway, so there's a bit of something happening there. Was something else I was going to comment on. Some of you fellas talking. I'm too lazy to take notes. I'm out of practice. I don't take notes much. Got to remember things, and I'm getting to the stage where I'm struggling to remember things like that. Never mind. Otherwise, not a problem. It's just a little thing that you notice when you're listening, and different people, different signals, signal strengths might be a bit down a little bit, but it varies a bit. Just might come for about 5 seconds. It'll come up a bit more noise, and then it'll drop back to normal. Wonderful things, aren't they? Trying to keep these repeaters exactly right with things. Never mind, that's all part of the hobby. All right, I think we'll leave it at that for now, guys. Good to have a chat to you all. I'll see how we go. I don't know what's happening next week. I think there's something on next week, but I don't know. I'll see. Let's see how we go. If I'm free, I'll come in and jump in and say good day again. And I just can't think of something else I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah, the old funerals, they're interesting, aren't they, sometimes? But all the funeral directors, they've usually got those nice slow lowering things. They just flick the lever, and she just dribbles down to the bottom. I think I'd like to be trying to lower a full-size adult body hanging onto the box. There want to be 3 or 4 hanging onto it. Well, that's the way it goes. All right then, guys. Thanks again for the net, Gary. Good. I didn't really say to you, Ian. Good to hear you again too, Ian. And I think Jim's gone. He's gone, so I was going to say to tell him too. When you get a few on the list, you got to keep tabs on them, haven't you? That's a bit of a shame. I don't know whether I timed that out then. No, it was all right. I got the tail. Should be right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, guys, for running the good little net. And I'll hand it on back to you there, Gary. Yeah, that's right. Don hands to me. That's right. And then it's back up to you, Gary. VK4. BAD in the group. VK4 and F. Thanks, guys.
VK4 November Fox, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Banya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Yeah, okay, I've turned the mic down just a fraction. That might help it out a bit. Anyway, before we close the net off, is there anyone else want to join the net and say hello, goodbye before we shut the net down? VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Okay, nothing else heard since except my fan noise. As I said, I'll fix that up this week if I get enough chance to do it. I got a multiple amount of jobs which are on my plate at the moment, but it's like everything, I will get around to it. Okay, with that lot there, I'd like to thank you all for coming. VK4HOO, Andy in Toowoomba, VK4 Tango Papa, Kerry in Clifton, VK4 Echo Mike Merv in Pittsworth, VK4 IJP Ian in Proston, VK4 Yankee Charlie Jim in Blackbutt, VK4 FAX Don in he's Toowoomba, and VK4 NF Neil in Dalby. Okay, with all that, I would like to thank you all for turning up tonight. We're one short compared to last week, which is still reasonably good compared to what we started off with. But no worries on that. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. I'd like to thank you all for turning up, and I'll now close the net off, and we'll catch us all again the same time next Wednesday night on 146675 at 7:30 p.m, 1930 hours. With that as well, I'll now change my call back to my home call of VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Fairyland. And once again there, fellas, thank you for joining the net. And we'll catch you all again next week. This is Victor Kilo 4 Golf Romeo Bravo, 7-3, VK4GRB out.
Hi, Gary. Thanks for the net.
Good night, Gary, and thank you for running the net and have a mighty fine job. Cheers, mate. VK4IJP.
Yeah, 7-3 or VK4 GRB. Now clearing the frequency.